everybody, it's Gladys here, and welcome to Bottlefield Episode 2. Here joining with me once again is Cryptic Panther. Say hello.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Doing work.
Heyo.
And Killer Win.
What's happening?
So the four of us have returned once again for another episode of Bottlefield. We'd like to thank everybody for joining us. We got a lot of news coming up, a lot of important updates, and a lot of questions that we're going to be going over tonight, and hopefully entertain you guys as well as give you a lot of good information. So coming up first, we're going to roll it to Cryptic Panther with a PS4 digital upgrade game. So explain to us how that's going to work.
Well, the last bit of information that's been released, and I mean, this may change, who knows, but what's been revealed is if you buy a hard copy of Battlefield 4 or some of the other games that are going to be available for digital upgrade on the PS4, you're going to need to keep your PS3 disc and put in your PS4 to play the digital download. That's just recently released news, and that doesn't make me very happy.
Yes.
The only other point that is kind of cool is if you buy the digital copy on your PS3, upgrading is fine. It's tied to your PSN account, and you digital upgrade on your PS4 to Battlefield 4, no problem. But
cool.
But having to keep your disc and put in your PS3, put your PS3 disc in your PS4 to play a digital copy, that sucks.
Yeah, and you had mentioned that the guy in the interview, when he answered that question, might not have understood. I think that's probably the case because.
Well, no, this is sorry, two different things. There was someone asked Yoshi Ishida, which is one of the head guys on the PS4. He asked the question if you need to keep your PS3, put your PS3 disc in your PS4 to play the digital download. He just answered one word, yes. So I thought he didn't understand the question. Then I read that article that I just got that quote from, and according to this article, the information has been released from Sony that you need to keep your PS3 copy. It's a Blu-ray disc, right? Like, people don't get excited that you're going to be able to play your PS3 games in your PS4. That's not what it's saying. It's a Blu-ray drive, so it's going to read Blu-ray discs. So it's just basically you're going to read the disc for authentication to say, oh yeah, you do own this. You paid $10. You have the digital copy. Hey, that sucks.
Yeah, but I think that the absolute better way to go about, confirming that would be to have a one-time authentication, to where you put it in maybe and then it says, okay, it's yours, you got it, and then the system recognizes from then on, and you don't have to do that, because inserting the PS3 disc in your PS4 when it can't read it, especially, for a quote-unquote digital copy, that doesn't make sense.
Well, it's still going to read the disc. It's not going to play the game because the architecture is not right. But it'll read it's a Blu-ray disc, right? It'll read the Blu-ray.
They just don't want you to sell your PS3 copy after you get your PS4.
That's what it is.
But the thing is,
we couldn't take away used games, so this is what we're going to do for
That's
certain
so lame.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is that kind of irritates me is you get a verification code, a one-time use verification code with your hard copy that you need to enter in. So as far as I'm concerned, that proves you bought the game for the full price. You're paying the $10 upgrade. Why do I need to keep my PS3 disc?
Yeah.
To play my digital copy, and that kind of what pissed me off. And I'm like, I just went and pre-ordered my PS3 copy too. So
yeah, I'd like to. I wish this information had been out before E3 when Sony did that. Here's how you share your games video that they put on YouTube. I'm like, okay, they'll do that with Battlefield 4.
Yeah. Well, if you have a hard copy, it's still going to work the same way. And
but if
your digital copy's not. Right,
that's right.
Digital copy's not, but that's only on the upgrade though. That's only on the upgraded version. If you buy the full-blown version if you just like log into your PS4 and buy Battlefield 4 first time, full price, you're not going to have the problem, right?
Hey, this would also be the case for Xbox?
Don't know. That's not been revealed.
Yeah, they haven't said much about it yet.
Yeah. And if anyone not sure, we're a little biased to PlayStation around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, a wee bit.
Yeah.
We'll throw that.
So that changes things because I was gonna pre-order, Battlefield 4 for the PS3 and do the upgrade. Now, now I don't know if I want to do that. I think I'm gonna wait and see if some more information comes out. Because if that's gonna be the case, then I'm just gonna buy it digitally and then buy it again digitally, so I can do whatever the hell I want with it.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you buy digitally for the PS3, as long as you get the pre-order where you get the free DLC. And you can still upgrade later, that's fine. I don't mind. Digital copies to me, it's just as good as a hard copy. I don't care. But like I said, it's just irritating that you have to keep that physical copy of your PS3 disc around every time you want to play your Battlefield 4 digital copy. They just don't want to flood the market with a bunch of used copies. But I mean, you already made your money off it. What do they care? They're gonna sell how many fucking umpteen million copies on the first day, anyways.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit of like a fear tactic on Sony's part, because if you can imagine, all the people that are excited for Battlefield 4, and we're talking about, like a couple million people easily, everyone wants to get, the very first experience. So I think there's going to be a lot of people playing Battlefield 4 on PS3, and what they're probably worried about is the migration period. When PS4 hits, they don't want the market to be flooded with all these old used copies, of Battlefield 4 for PS3, and it's just going to be a graveyard.
Well, yeah, because then they're not going to be selling any more copies for PS3. Christmas time rolls around, and they all go into fucking GameStop and buying the used copy. Yeah, definitely.
So that I could kind of see the reasoning behind that, but still to gamers, I think that's it's just kind of disingenuous, and it's absolutely unnecessary.
Well, I mean, it you look back. Well, okay, if I buy it for the PlayStation 3, I pay $10. I get it for the PlayStation 4. Deal. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But like now, see, it's a different boat for me. That now that I'm, as of right now, I mean, on the first podcast, anyone that's listening to these in order, on the first podcast, I said I wasn't buying it for the PS3 because I'm waiting to buy the PS4. But things have changed, and right as of now, I am not buying a PS4 at launch unless something changes, which is depressing as fuck. That's why I'm drinking more beer tonight. But but the thing is, I was thinking, okay, fine. We discussed. There's a few of us in the group on Pro Battlefield that have decided to, we're getting PS3 copies. We'll do some write-ups. We'll do some videos, and then whenever the PS4 comes out, we can do some comparison videos. We've already decided on that. Now I'm sitting here going, do I even want to buy it for the PS3? Because that whole digital upgrade thing kind of soured me, but. I'm not. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, as more details, get released, we'll talk about it, and hopefully it won't be as bad as we're thinking that it could be. Right now, it's more speculation than not. So
true.
we still got some time. Moving along here, one note that I do want to touch on that's pretty near and dear to my heart. For PS4, we've been confirmed that HDMI game capture cards will be compatible. And that's big because, to me, that says Sony is interested in, the YouTube market and people making their own videos, Machinima and YouTube, all this stuff, to where, they're only giving us more options. They're not taking anything away. They're not saying PS4 comes with recording, so we're going to make it incompatible with all your other recording devices. No, they're not saying that at all. They're saying we're giving you even more options. It's just a plus. I don't think there's any negative at all to be found in that news, and I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, that's great news, and I hope to see things like some of the heavy hitters for Xbox come over. Mr. Sark, or Only Using the Blade, or some of those guys. It would be interesting to see if some of those guys come over into the PlayStation side.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of crossover. I think the community's a little. I wouldn't say a little less divided, but I think that a lot of diehard Xbox fans are really skeptical of everything that's been released on the Xbox One, and they're seeing a lot of positive on the PlayStation 4 side, and I think rightly so.
Yeah.
But again, we are biased, so I don't know how much you can trust us.
Completely. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, I trust us.
We have at least one Canadian, so our trustworthiness is just maximum.
That's true. Okay. So server settings. We're going to talk about that for a little bit. From a DICE interview, it said you'll be able to search for official server settings and also set your own server with official settings. So it doesn't take forever to look for 100% ticket matches or for a custom game that you're looking for. And that's another cool thing because this is going to be tied into the Battlelog upgrade. And the matchmaking system and everything, they're just upgrading everything, so it's going to be more fluid and easier for us to find the games that we want to play. And again, just making it more interactive for us and easier to get into the game and enjoy our experience.
Yeah, man, that new Battlelog looks really badass.
Mm-hmm.
I really like how they made it part of the actual game this time around, not just the website. I like how much it's integrated into the actual game.
Yeah, and one thing that they had said was that for Battlefield 3, that Battlelog felt like a separate entity, and what they really wanted to go for was seamless integration to where Battlelog and Battlefield 4 are combined.
Yeah,
and that's definitely going to be awesome to see.
I agree. I see a lot of my friends that don't use Battlelog, since we're all on the PlayStation and we don't need to. And I'm wondering, I'm like, how do you keep up with like your stats and all this stuff, man? Because like I'm the type of person that I like achievements and I like to do my assignments and all this stuff. And I mean, I don't know how they do it, man. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, whenever you look at Battlelog, I mean, I use it not so much as of right now. I mean, but when I was trying to figure out how many kills with a certain weapon, it's so much easier, even if you're not in a game, than to go through the menu itself in Battlefield on the PlayStation, to go through just a basic in-game menu to look at your stats, and plus they're not detailed, right? So how could you not use Battlelog just for that, just as its stats alone? I mean, I use it on my iPhone. Just to view stats. Oh, this gun here, I'm close to my 500 kills. I'll use it for a while, or and I use it to who's online. I mean, who's on playing. If I'm not fired the PlayStation up yet, I'll just grab my phone and pull it up. So I mean, with the changes that are coming, I'm excited. I mean, I don't have a tablet to use as a second screen because that's even one of the other options too. That you can be able to use a tablet for your mini map and shit.
You use a laptop or your PC.
Yeah, so I mean, for just the basic fact of how much more Battlelog is part of it, that's huge. That's massive news.
Yeah, it is, and I really hope that they put more. Well, I guess they've already said that they'll put more server control in Battlelog, but if I have a server that I own that I'm in and I want to change settings, I don't like that I have to back out of the round completely. Do that. I want to be able to change my server settings from Battlelog while I'm in game and just have it take effect next round.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's
admins, but that would be
that's the goal. Yeah, and then what they said as well in what I was talking to a little bit earlier was that while you're in game, if something's going bad in the server or whatever, if you're having a bad game, or if you want to switch to a different game mode, and whatever reason, and you want to get into a different server. In game, you can just open up Battlelog, or I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work, but they said this is what you'll be able to do: is bring it up. You can go through your servers, server browser. You can search for something, whatever. You can join on friends, but it's all done in game. You don't have to quit the game. You don't have to open up a separate thing, go to a different menu here, and scroll down there and look for this. It's all it's integrated so smoothly that in game, without quitting, you can switch servers.
That'd be awesome. Hopefully, like we get some. Well, we won't see any of that with the PS3 for the beta, but hopefully we'll get some footage of that, released or something before. It'd be nice to see it working. It's a neat concept, but how well is it on PC? I mean, it's probably going to work a lot smoother. But with the power of the PS4, hopefully the consoles will be able to keep up, and those type of options are going to be well integrated into consoles for the amount of console gamers that they have. But I mean, we all know that DICE with the Battlefield series has always catered to PC, right?
Right. I think that this is going to shake up the hierarchy a bit, though, because the PS4 and Xbox One are so much more powerful than the PS3 and Xbox 360 that it really is going to give PC a run for their money. And as far as what we're able to do, I think that the only thing that PC is going to have as its trump card is going to be just purely powerful graphics.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I think that's really it. No, the frame rate is 60 frames per second on PS4.
On PC they get 120 easily.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen anybody play on 120, or if it is, I'm not sure. Is that like a common thing?
Does it make you
well, yeah, for
I don't know.
For those who are gamers, I mean PC gamers who can do it, they definitely do it. Yeah.
With the news of PS4, there was some skeptical information released that PS4 and BF4 weren't that great. There was a lot of talk of frame rate issues, this and that, and stuff like that. And there's there hasn't been any major gameplay footage released. There's been a few little some gamers, some of the guys that have played it on PC. There's been a couple at like the Gamescom and some of the invite sessions have actually tried on a PS4. There's been a little bit of information, but there's actually was an article released, and Doing Work actually linked it to us the other day. And the guy was talking, and he basically said that the PS4 version of Battlefield 4 is comparable to what the high-end PCs were running BF3 at.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, that's massive. I mean, the graphical difference between PS3 and PC was huge with BF3. So now that the PS4 is up to level now to be comparable to, the last generation of Battlefield on a PC, that's massive. That's big news.
It is, and then I was reading an article as well, and I want to say that it was on IGN, but I'm not positive, where somebody had, a hands-on impression of Battlefield 4 on the PlayStation 4, and this was just a couple days ago, I think. And they were saying, I think actually you and I might be talking about the same article.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
The guy was like, "Look, don't worry, it looks great."
Yeah, he said we have nothing to worry about.
There's no texture issues. Everything's awesome.
Yeah. And as of now, we're still in alpha. So if he's saying that, then I'm.
Good things, man, because they ought to be by this point just polishing shit up. There shouldn't be any major things left to do now.
And I mean, I'm gonna kind of sound a bit like I haven't done any hardcore PC gaming in years because I just kind of get out of it. Just the expense when back in the day was always, every 2 years you had to buy a new video card. I just kind of get out of it, and I get into console gaming. But I mean, is there a major difference if someone's playing a game at 60 frames per second versus something say at 45? I know 30 to 60 is a big. I know 30 to 60 they say is a big difference, but I can't say anything. I only play it PS3, so I'm only playing at 30 frames per second.
It's a noticeable difference, I would say, from 45 to 60 because I've seen a friend of mine play it, and he's flopped the frames around and switched the graphical settings for me just so I can see the difference in them. The best way that I can equate it is how we're playing Battlefield 3 on PlayStation 3. We're used to the normal, like, pretty smooth movement, whatever. You ever have those moments, like maybe if you're in a vehicle or if you're in a small place and there's like an explosion that moves a lot of stuff and the screen kind of slows down?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I would say it's almost like that much of a jarring difference if you go from like 30 to 60, something like that. But from 45 to 60 is not much. It's noticeable, but it's not that bad.
Because a lot of people were saying that the PS4 was going to run at 60, and I'm thinking I would gladly give up a few frames per second, keep like the 64 players, and I'd gladly take a little less graphics here, a little less, for better all-around gameplay. I mean, everyone screams, they're all, the big hard-ons, 60 frames, 60 frames, 60 frames. I'm thinking, well, if they're going to push the PS4 and run 60 frames, and we're going to have issues because, they're taxing the system, which hopefully they're not. In a brand new console, hopefully 60 frames isn't going to tax the system.
Right.
But it's just how big of a difference if they were to tone the frames back a little bit so that we don't have any problems. That's kind of what my question is.
What they've done instead of sacrificing frames per second, they've sacrificed the resolution. Instead of giving us 1080p, they're giving us 720 max.
And even still, the
PS4.
same thing. I have a 42-inch TV LCD that I play my PS3 on. I watch Blu-ray movies on it. I watch digital downloads from. I'm not going to say where I get them, but I've watched. Yeah, there you go. I watch, like 480p stuff. Like I have a media player that plays my videos. I've watched 480p. I've watched 720, 1080. On my 42-inch TV, it depends on the quality of the actual rip or even a Blu-ray. Between 720 and 1080, to most
not a big
people,
difference.
no.
No,
I'd rather my PS4 play my games at 720. I mean, if you're watching on a big fucking 65-inch wall projector, you might notice a difference. But
no, actually, the smaller the TV, really, the more resolution you would need, I guess, because the pixels will be so small.
Yeah.
That you would need more resolution. On a big TV, you won't notice it as much. But yeah, I like you. I'd rather have 720 than risk any lower frames. To be honest with you, I'd rather have 60 frames per second on 720p because the frames per second really improve the gameplay for everyone.
That's right.
That's my point too.
Yeah, I mean, not being able to make out a sniper 1,000 meters away.
Well, yeah.
Is not that big of a deal, and that's really what we're getting down to when you go into the difference between 720 and 1080. As a guy who sold high-end TVs for years and years and years, I mean, that's what you're talking about. The character 10 feet in front of you is going to look the same. The little teeny tiny things that are really going to change, and in the heat of the moment, like it doesn't matter. I'd rather the frame rate be consistent.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely, I think we all strongly agree on that, which is good.
Yep.
As far as like taxing the system, I think that we're not even close to doing that yet, honestly,
Well,
because
that's what I hope.
yeah, well, I mean, any title at launch should just kind of be, taking those baby steps and just feeling out because, we don't have many of the heavy hitters at launch for any system, that I can think of. The real challenging titles that really tax the system and push it to its limits and its boundaries, those always come at the end of the life cycle after developers have gotten used to working.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, look at the PlayStation 3. I mean, I can't speak for Xbox. I don't play one anymore. But look at the games that have recently come out, and like The Last of Us and like everyone else's Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, the fucking games are amazing.
Those two games show how they can just like milk the resources of the machine so well now compared to like 5 years ago that it's just ridiculous, man.
Well, you see the map comparison size from Grand Theft Auto 4 to 5?
San Andreas or whatever. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, on the same system, it's unbelievable.
Even if you go all the way back to the PS2, I mean, look at launch titles like Bouncer. I mean, it was better than anything we had ever seen, and then you fast forward a few years to something like Final Fantasy.
You just brought me back, man.
or like a Shadow of the Colossus, and no one thought that you could do that with that system. Yep. It was just it was amazing.
One of like not to go way off topic, but with Grand Theft Auto, I know it's our big topic, and we chatted a lot pre-recording about it. It was trying to get one particular person off the fucking PlayStation. Right work.
Guilty.
But anyway, so yeah. So, but I mean, the explosions are one of the biggest things in Grand Theft Auto 5 that look so improved.
Yeah, they do. Like they do in the water. The water looks really good too.
The water is just unbelievable. Like it doesn't look like a video game anymore. So if that what they can do at the end of life cycle on PS3. And they're just getting into the PS4. We've seen some gameplay footage, some of the new games coming out.
Have you seen that latest trailer? Those explosions for Battlefield 4?
Yeah.
Yeah,
those explosions when they take out that jet with a small, man, that's amazing, man.
Yeah,
if they can do that now, like you were saying, if they can do that now, I can't imagine for stuff that's coming out down the line.
Exactly. I'm stoked.
Yeah, I think as far as gaming generations go, I don't think that we've ever had such a promising generation. I really don't. I think that there's been nothing before that has been as potentially game changing or as inclusive, like an all-in-one package, as what we're seeing today.
No, I don't think so either. To be honest with you,
it's just awesome.
It's definitely the time of the gamer.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Right.
Long live games.
Well, like we can go back to Grand Theft Auto. How much money did they make in one day? $800 million.
Yeah.
That is like an unheard of amount of money for a video game to make in one day.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Gamers now are not kids anymore. Gamers are grown. We have jobs. We can spend money on whatever the fuck we want.
I'll speak for myself, like an old fuck like me.
Well, and the thing too is, it's like it's not like the old stereotype that games were for kids or for losers or whatever. It's really taken down the barriers between any groups of people. Everybody, well, not everybody, but you can find any example of a type of person, and somebody in that group is gonna love gaming, probably more than one. It's been a community driven kind of event, over the years. And it's really just captured the imagination and the love of a lot of people. And now that there's people like you guys are a little older than I am, but like I grew up playing all these different systems, and it's always been a progression, and it's been a huge part of my life as far back as I can remember. So I'm a gamer through and through all the way. and it's something that I love to do and something I'm going to continue to do as far as I can tell.
Well, yeah, I grew up, I'm not gonna go out and say my age, but the Atari, man. I mean, that was the shit back in the day for me.
Yeah.
So that's giving away my age,
Yeah.
without saying an actual number, but I mean, shit. I mean, like, Commodore 64, and then Atari, and 2600. And then this the Nintendo. I grew
And
up
World
with all
War
that.
II,
So.
man. I mean,
I think I'm the baby of the group by
Holy
far.
shit, man! I'm not quite that old. Holy hell, man!
I remember those. I had an Atari 2600.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember chess.
That's funny.
I connected 4 all the time.
Yeah, connect board games. Holy shit! They still make those.
Yeah, they do. Strangely enough, rumor has it, All right, so let's roll back a little bit into some Battlefield news here. With the new screen capture animation doing work, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So they're changing the way that the act of capturing a flag or taking an objective is going to look. Of course, we all know in Battlefield 3 it had that big obtrusive circle that popped up in the middle of the map, and you couldn't mark the objective while you were doing it. It just kind of got in the way. I mean, I guess you get used to it after a while, but it was kind of a pain. So what they're going to do is go back to more of a Bad Company 2 feel, if anybody remembers that. I know Gladys does. I'm not sure about the rest of you guys too much. But, it was just a small bar on top of the mini-map. And, as you captured the flag, that bar filled up. And, the clicks were still there, so you could still kind of get an idea of what the enemies were doing. But it was very, very minimal, very unobtrusive. And I'm glad to see this change coming, to be honest.
Yeah, I first noticed it on one of Level Cap's videos. He was playing the latest release in California, I do believe, at EA, one of their studios, and watching the gameplay, and I didn't notice it at first. And I'm thinking, why is he not on that objective capturing it? And then I noticed a little capturing word in a little bar just above your on-screen kill feed. I'm like, that's the new capture. That is fucking awesome. Get rid of that fucking annoying circle in the middle of the screen. You can't see any enemies, and how many times you've been killed because you're behind the damn retarded circle. Like, oh, I'm stoked. I don't come from bad companies, so this is major improvement for me. So yeah.
Yeah, well, coming from Bad Company, I was really confused. What would be who's the guy that stood up in the room and said, I think it'd be great to put the objective marker right in the center of the screen.
You should have been kicking the balls.
Right.
Make it bright blue, huge, and 100%. 100%
the only thing I like big is tits.
Bill's fired. He's no longer with us.
Yeah, and then it's like they had that guy, and then they had the other guy in the room that was like, I think that we should make the flashlights just as bright as the sun. I think that'd be a great idea too. Brighter. Which, of course they're bringing back as far as I can tell.
Well, here, just to kind of go off topic, but you brought the flashlight up. I was reading through some info, watching some gameplay, and the actual tack light, only turns on when you ADS.
Yeah, there's two different.
There's a flashlight and a tack light now. So, you know how, the same with a laser. I'll put a laser on a gun and I'll go wide because I turn the fucking thing off all the time to look away my position. Yep. Constantly, I'm switching the damn thing on and off, and I usually have it off on a hip fire, so I'm wasting my fucking attachment. But the flashlight's the same thing. Turn it on, and as soon as you run down a hallway, someone sees the damn thing and kills you. So you're constantly turning on and off. So now that they're making an actual, an actual tack light, so when you ADS, it turns on. That is gonna be OP.
Yeah. I mean, it's working the way it's supposed to work, really. I agree. I like that. I like the tack light. I mean, it serves its own purpose, and I don't know. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be very effective when we end up doing the surprise party to somebody. It's gonna be a completely black room, and then somebody walks in, and you've got 12 tack lights just
especially
right
when
in your
you knock
face.
out the lights.
Yeah.
So imagine that.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody ADS at once. The poor bastard's gonna be blind.
But you know what? I'm gonna be
His
the first victim to
TV
pop in
is gonna just implode.
whatchamacallit,
Flashbang.
a flashbang in there, and come in and kill all of you. So,
It's gonna be just a big disco party. That's what it's gonna do. Everyone's got to be jumping and looking in different directions, ADS, and flipping those lights on and off.
Going off, and
Yep.
yeah,
Right.
it's gonna be epileptic seizure city.
Yeah.
Yeah. Full sensitivity, stick full left. Everybody rotating around like top lights.
It's the epileptic dance.
You'd be playing, you'd be going, why is no one talking? Because everyone's on the floor taking a fucking seizure. No one's talking. Oh, shit. Great.
Wonderful. Yeah. All right. So we've talked about the capture animation. We've also got a couple new things. As far as attachments go, we have some new foregrips. Work, bring us in on those again, and tell us about the 2 different foregrips that we have.
So we're going to have, like I said, new foregrips. One of them is going to be the angled foregrip, and I think they're giving Magpul a shout out on this one. I don't know if any of you guys are AR-15 fans or anything like that, but I actually have one of these in real life, and it's really cool.
Angled?
Yeah, the AFG.
Cool.
And what it's going to do is the angled foregrip is going to reduce the initial recoil when you initially fire your weapon aimed down sight on somebody. And as we all know, the initial recoil is the hardest to control. The follow-up shots are generally a little easier to kind of get that gun wrangled back in. So that's going to change things quite a bit. The old school vertical foregrip is going to reduce your hipfire spread while you're moving. And it's also going to reduce the spread a little bit while you're aimed down sight. So you have 2 foregrips that are going to do 2 different things. And obviously you're going to be able to attach one of them at a time. But I'm really interested to see how it's going to work on things like the M16, the MP7. I mean, we all know those things are death lasers anyway.
Yep.
So now, I mean, being able to reduce the hipfire spread, have like a steady aim perk kind of thing anyway, it's going to be really interesting to see how that works out.
Very interesting. I also want to take this moment just to point out to everybody listening, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I think that Doing Work sounds like the amalgamation of Level Cap and the Noob from Battlefield Friends. Can I get a ruling on that, because I'm pretty sure that's exactly
what we need. What we need is a promoted.
Give us a promoted. Come on.
Promoted.
We're gonna get like 1,000 views just off of that right there.
I know,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
We gotta tag
Either
it
that,
as
or I'm
promoted.
gonna get a cease and desist letter in the mail from these.
Demoted.
Right.
Demoted.
I'm gonna get
Oh
demoted.
God.
I'm gonna get banned.
Yeah.
Impersonate a new banned.
Awesome. So one thing that I wanted to point out as well, and this was news to me up until just before we started recording this, bolt action sniper rifles currently are going to be doing 100 damage up to about 100 meters. And that's a huge game changer for recon players. And as far as, just other FPSs go, including Battlefield, I think that it's been a huge weakness of the game, to where they haven't included, the lethality of bolt action rifles, because, up in Battlefield 3, obviously I put more time into that than anything else. It's very, it's
underwhelming.
Yeah, it really, really is. It really feels like there's no point to it, because if you're not stupidly precise to get headshot after headshot after headshot, then there's no point to use that weapon. And, that's just really, deflating for me. I loved playing sniper in just about any game before that. And, getting into Battlefield 3, I couldn't do it. I can't get those headshots all the time. And, the mentality that I have is that with such a powerful weapon, one shot to the chest from just about any distance should be able to kill its target. And I think realistically, and Battlefield's always been, touted as a realistic shooter. I think realistically, there's no excuse that we haven't seen this before. But that being said, I'm thrilled that up to 100 meters we have that one hit kill.
I mean, I agree with your points, but the biggest thing is, where's that going to put the guys that already are thick with headshots?
Yeah, it's going to make him even more effective. But I think that with more players, and now I'm referring to PS4 and PC, obviously not PS3. With more players, we've got more weapons, we've got Levolution, bigger maps, and everything. I think that even with those expert snipers being even more effective and deadly, I think that the threat level of just any given map, I think it's still going to be about the same. I think there's going to be so much distraction, and there's going to be so many other opportunities for those guys that I don't think you're going to be it's going to be a noticeable difference. Like you're going to be getting sniped all the time. I don't think it's going to be like that because there's going to be so many other things going on, and the maps are going to be so expansive that for you to get singled out, to get repeatedly killed by snipers, I just don't think that the chances are that great for it.
Yeah, oh no, I'm just saying like it's with those the 100% damage, basically a one-hit kill from 100 meters. That's the guys that are good now. That's just gonna basically, it's not gonna be, you're not gonna come around a corner and get winged by a dude with a sniper rifle, that does 78% damage because he shot you, a quarter of an inch below the 100% hit marker. It's going to be every fucking time you turn a corner, you're going to be getting no scope with these guys, at 100% death, right? That's the only thing that I'm scared of is it going to turn those guys that are already really good at the close quarters with a sniper rifle, especially bolt action, and they're going to run against 5 guys that are just like bolt action crazy and just like fucking wipe out a whole team. Like, not a 32 player map, but I'm saying like, you're gonna come around a corner, there's gonna be 3 or 4 guys like no scoping the piss out of you because it's 100% damage. Like, that's the only downfall I see. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely gonna open up a lot more people using a sniper rifle. I'll definitely give it a try. I can't snipe for shit, but
I can give you 2 reasons why that's not going to be the case. See, you didn't play a lot of Bad Company 2, so you don't know where I'm coming from on this. But in Bad Company 2, when you use a bolt action rifle or shotgun with slugs, wherever your crosshair was pointing on the screen, that's where the round went. As soon as you ADS out, I know Gladys is going to know what I'm talking about here.
Yep.
But you could quick scope anything all day long. If you knew where that sight was going to land, you could sight in and fire, and that's it was bad. It was bad for stuff like that. In Battlefield 3, they changed that mechanic to where when you ADS, it takes, I don't know, somewhere around a quarter of a second or something like that for the sight to actually settle in. So if you walk up to a wall at, say, 50 meters and you try and quickscope it, you'll notice that oftentimes the round does not go exactly where that crosshair landed. It's off just a little bit.
Right.
And that's also the case with, hip firing. The first round does not go directly where the barrel's pointing. You have to be motionless for just that split second, and that's enough generally. And there's also damage modifiers where if you hit in the arm or the leg, I don't think that we're going to see 100 damage. I'm pretty sure that it really should be chest head. If they're going to do it, it needs to be chest head, not arm, not hand, not foot, not leg. And I think that's what we're going to see.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. I mean, like, that's the thing. I mean, if, like, talk with the realistic side. I know they want it realistic. Like, in that interview I watched that I pulled some notes for this podcast was, they're the fun factors where they're aiming. But I'm just saying, like, we've seen so many things change with BF3 with, nerfing this gun, nerfing that gun, changing this and that and everything else. I'm just wondering if, the 100% damage out to about 100 meters, I'm just saying if the way that the gun shoots now, yeah, that's fine, but how does that change in Battlefield 4?
Well, I mean, and some other points as well to consider. If you're worried about close quarters with the snipers doing 100 damage, I think that I can lay those fears to rest pretty easily because, with any buff or any new thing that's being introduced, there's other things that have been introduced or there's past things that we can go back to that can counter those. There's nothing in my mind that is so broken that there's no way to counter it.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not saying. I'm not. I'm just. I'm not. I'm kind of like. I guess maybe I'm putting too much into it. I'm thinking, it's just, what it's like when you're playing, we'll say, fucking Metro or Bazaar, and all of a sudden there's always that one, and I'm going to call him. There's always this one asshole with a fucking bolt action that's fucking ripping the team to pieces.
Yeah. Well, and
I mean,
and the thing is though, like in close quarters, we now have 5-man squads. We've got a commander as well. We have the opportunity to do high value targets. We can do bomb drops and stuff like that. So yeah, like missile strikes. We've got flashbangs as well to help clear those corners and those areas.
that's true.
We've got incendiary grenades, those tack lights and everything as well. There's lots of opportunities to distract or disrupt snipers in close quarters, or anybody for that matter. But snipers specifically, because they need such accuracy and such precision and the timing on that in close quarters, there's a lot of ways that I think that we're going to be able to kind of shake them up a bit and get around that.
Oh, I understand. I'm not saying there's going to be everybody's going to be running around quick scope, and I'm not turning this into a COD conversation, but it's just like I'm talking about the guys that are fucking good now. They get the headshot, one hit kill, one hit kill, one hit kill.
They'll
Now
be better.
yeah, I mean that's just the thing. Like how much how more irritating is it going to be whenever the same guy is just dropping your ass because he's already good, and now that he's got 100% damage at chest to head at 100 meters, that was 100. You want to be 105 meters away from that asshole every time. So you hit that. So it's only 95%, so you can at least take cover and hopefully not get your fucking ass blown off. But
it's definitely gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I mean definitely. I'm not knocking the 100 damage at 100 meters. I mean, it was my point was the kind of those guys that are elite now. That's just gonna they're gonna be uber elite.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is that there's always going to be those guys, and it's inevitable with a game that requires so much skill, and that you can put so much time into and just get better and better. It's going to happen. So I think that with us, all of us, I think it's safe to say we play objective a lot of the time. So within 100 meters of that, we're probably not going to see too many snipers. I think we'll be safe.
And the biggest thing is too, like it's going to be there's one advantage. There's going to be a lot of people hopefully picking up sniper rifles, thinking they're going to get those round the corner one hit kills every time, and we're just going to be messing them fuckers up.
Yeah.
With those
you're also forgetting that the recon class now is going to have a lot of work to do, not just sniping. The recon class getting C4 claymores, they're getting so many toys that they're just even the carbines. Like I guarantee you're going to see a lot less recons with bolt action rifles now than for BF4 than you do for Battlefield 3.
Well, here's a little sneak peek to the next episode of the Bottlefield is a discussion on weapons, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but yeah, I mean, you're just speaking carbines are an all-class weapon, so are DMRs, which are, if anyone doesn't know what a DMR is the semi-automatics.
Yeah, semi-automatics sniper rifles.
Yeah, I think that out of all the classes in the game, that recons have definitely got the most love from DICE, from BF3 to BF4.
Well, and with good reason, because nobody really plays recon outside of a few of those heavy hitters in Battlefield 3. It's a very underutilized class, so I'm glad to see it.
And like I said, and like I said, a lot of you know that I kind of come in as a Battlefield noob because I've been away from the series for so long. I played on PC years ago, and I come into it as a complete Battlefield noob to the PlayStation with BF3. So, and people were saying how shitty the recon class was. I was like, well, what was it before? And then I hear the campfire stories of Bad Company and and the way it was before. So
Bad Company 2 was great, man.
Two words
the mechanics was fantastic.
2 words: Wookiee balls. Anyone who doesn't know what that is?
Oh my God.
I never played it and I know what that is. So
that's gonna be such a tactical tool to use when you're rolling with a squad. That it's gonna be invaluable, man. Just that to clear a building, flashbangs and Wookiee balls, just like it's gonna be crazy.
Well, see, that's the thing. And I mean, like, when I've seen the talk about how they're changing the recon, and I'm thinking, well, it actually becomes another usable class. So, now when you spawn in, you're not going to look at your squad and go, I'm playing with some randoms and go, fucking recon. That's kind of what everybody says now, because it's usually the guy in the hill 2,000 meters away trying to pick off, someone in the spawn. Like, I want to get a 2,000 meter headshot so I can brag about it. Well, thanks for helping with the loss, asshole.
Yeah, like I said, I think they've got the most love, and I think that we're going to see a flood of people trying out Recon, and with good reason too. There's lots of opportunity for good gameplay there.
And it becomes an actual viable part of a squad now.
Yeah.
From what I understand. So yeah, I don't see any negatives.
Yeah. I think all aboard the Recon train for sure. All right, so I know that Cryptic, you've been itching to talk about it, so bring us the info on the mortar system.
The mortar system. I'm not a big fan of the way the mortars were nerfed to piss in Battlefield 3. Dice, if you're listening, I know you're not. I know you're not. But if you are, you fucked that up.
But we still love you.
It's been banned from PlayStation.
Yeah, banned for life.
Yeah. If they can't take criticism, then hell, ban my ass. But I'm saying it's obviously just a new gamer tag. But it just was so frustrating that people were bitching they were too OP. Well, M16 is fucking still OP, man, and the game's 2 years old. They didn't fix that. But I mean, they nerfed it so bad with the mortars that a direct hit on a soldier does not do 100% damage.
Yeah.
That even on the only way to get even on hardcore, I've heard people. I don't play hardcore. Even some people that we play with that play in hardcore sometimes.
It's hit or miss, man.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a one-hit kill. Most of the time, it's not a one-hit kill, and I mean, that's crazy. Mortar hits a soldier in the head. The dude should even splash damage should be a lot more increased. But the new mortar system, from what I can't talk on damage model because there's nothing been released. But it's a remote. You don't have to sit on your mortar like a stupid bitch anymore. You're not tied to that like a baby to a stroller, man. That's so awesome. It's got a remote system like an EOD or a MAV style controller. I can only say what I've seen in the gameplay video of Daskro. It seems like it has a 5-round volley. You get 5 rounds, you fire them off, and then it reloads. I don't know how long it takes to reload. He didn't have a lot of stats on it. He was just using it in some gameplay to put up some videos on YouTube, which I appreciate, like him and Level and some other guys that are putting up some basically alpha stuff, and even now almost beta stuff is what they're releasing now, with the date so close to the actual beta release. So they're putting out some pretty good information. Unfortunately, there's not a lot more to know about it. I'm still waiting on some official stuff from DICE on it. Damage model, I'd love to see. What do you guys think?
Yeah, the remote mortar looks really good. Like you said, those 5 shots. I think it fires 5 or 6 shots, whatever. But I think that they're not gonna keep it like that because I think one of Level Cap's last videos he was mentioning that after that round that he had with Daskro, they went up to the devs and they told them that was really, really OP. And the devs said that they were going to look into it. I don't think we're going to see it. We're going to see a kind of reduction in effectiveness by the time the beta comes out, because they were, man, every 3 or 4 shots they were getting kills after kills. It was like nonstop, man, because each shot was like, I think like half a second apart. That's too many, man. Many too soon.
Well, I mean, the time between, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but time between reload and I don't know, he didn't have time that, like, as far as I'm concerned, if it's gonna be a remote mortar and they're gonna keep like the 5-round burst, it can't be just like 5 like almost rapid fire shots. It's got to be toned down to where it's similar to the motion now, where it imitates an actual person dropping a mortar in to fire it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not just like rapid fire 5 rounds. Because when I seen the Daskro video, it looked like it was basically fire, all 5 shots.
Exactly.
That can't stay. That's for sure. But
yeah, they gotta do something.
If it's going to be a volley of 5 rounds and it's going to keep the similar fire rate as of the mortar now, that's fine. But the fact that you can set it up and actually move with your team, that is a big game changer.
And when you set it up, you have 360 degrees of movement with it. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
You're not limited to where you're facing when you set it down. It's 360 degrees. Nice. I think I like that a lot. So.
Very nice. Yeah, and again, only improvements really. I don't think that there's been anything that I've seen so far on Battlefield 4 that I've been like, what? everything seems to make sense and has been something that I've wanted in one form or another, and it's all just everything is progressive. It's all moving forward, man. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the last notes that we have here before we get to our very final topic, something that's going to be, I think, kind of a dividing line, but really only for the diehards on one side of it. You'll see the pretty clear divide here. The info that we received was that there's going to be no reviving after getting a knife takedown. And some people have kind of confused this, out there. So it's not that you can't get revived, or rather, I'm sorry. It's that if you're knifed, you can't get revived. It's not that. It's that. No, I think I just messed it up again.
Yeah,
I did. Okay, what I'm trying to say.
Some people were confusing it with that you cannot get knifed after you get revived, but it's the opposite. Once you get knifed,
that's it.
if you get your tag taken, you cannot get revived. Period. You're done. You gotta wait wait a couple seconds and respawn.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for stepping in there. I haven't even had anything to drink. I have no excuse. But that's a real life example of
he's mainlining NyQuil.
Yeah. Okay. So that's very happy news for me. Getting knifed and then revived and knifed again and then revived. That's a vicious circle that I think all of us have been through in Battlefield 3, and it's very welcome to me that that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, getting knifed and then getting revived and getting re-knifed, yeah, that sucks. One thing that I like about it is if you're not running a suppressed weapon, and now there's limited communication in Battlefield when you're playing against an unorganized team, which is nice. But yourself, when you walk up behind two guys and you're running an unsuppressed weapon, you want to knife one of them and then shoot the other guy, right? Because you don't want to shoot the one guy because the other guy's going to turn around if he hears your gun, right? If he's anywhere at all intelligent, he should turn around and shoot you. So how many times it's happened to me? And I mean, I'm not a knife aficionado like some of our other guys that we play with. But I mean, I like the knife, and I mean, you sneak up behind one guy, you knife him. The other guy happens to notice the guy get killed, or they happen to have mic communication, and you get shot. Nothing worse than watching in kill cam the guy revived the guy you just fucking knifed either.
Yep.
That's irritating. I went through the trouble of sneaking up behind that guy and knifing his ass, only to watch him get revived in the fucking kill cam. Like, come on.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly DICE's thinking behind this, is to put some incentive into actually using your knife. Because right now, when you really think about it, why would you use your knife other than just trying to rack up your knife kills?
Yeah.
It's really, besides the silent aspect of it, really, if you're gonna knife a guy, like you were saying, it's a scenario where you have two guys right in front of you. You knife one right now on Battlefield 3. You knife one, and if the other one sees you, he'll just kill you and revive the other dude. Now Battlefield 4, you're gonna have to, if you're that other guy, you're gonna be like, cursing at the fucking wind because now you can't revive your teammate, even though you killed the guy. So I would definitely go for the knife now because at least I'll take one down with me. Whereas if I just shoot with an unsuppressed weapon, I might, kill the one guy and the other one will take me out and revive his friend.
Right.
So.
Right.
Turns the knife into a guaranteed ticket.
Damn right.
Yep.
Exactly. And I mean, the only problem with that is how many people you're going to see fucking jumping over rocks, swinging knives like maniacs.
Or machetes, or...
Yeah, it's going to be
machetes.
shivs and machetes just fucking flying everywhere in the battlefield.
Ooh, this is going to be an idea. We need to be able to throw our shivs. A little... yeah.
You're going to be shanks, man. You're going to get shanked every time you turn around. You're gonna have to run around like the Death Blossom. You're gonna have to have one guy in the center and all four guys watching each direction and just kind of run around in a huddle so y'all don't get fucking knifed to death.
There's gonna be some video, like a top-down view from a free roaming camera looking at like a group of guys. And we should have like a game mode where it's like horde mode, where everybody has shivs and they've got to rush after like a squad or two.
Prison. We'll call it
prison break. Prison break.
Hey, prison break. That sounds good.
There we go.
Two guys with shotguns, everybody else with shivs.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh, the possibilities.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of on topic here, as far as revived and not getting revived. What do you guys think of the idea of not getting revive after getting headshotted? Because I think that should be implemented.
That's been a big topic, and here's my question to that. Here's the opposite side of being a good thing is, how many times have you like rounded a corner, sprayed a guy, and it says headshot, and you hit the son of a bitch in the chest 4 or 5 rounds and finish him with a headshot, right? So is it a headshot count? In other words, it counts as an actual headshot, comes up on your screen, or are you talking a one-hit bolt action sniper rifle to the head?
Yeah, I'm talking about the kill shot being a headshot. Not necessarily him being hit in the head. If it's, from a certain range with certain weapons, I think the damage meter will allow to where you can hit someone in the head without getting that kill. It'll just do increased damage. Right. As long as the final shot is a headshot, I think that there should be no revive after that.
Well, here's my thinking on that. If you don't mind me jumping in real quick,
go ahead.
Because a lot of people, like Cryptic was saying, on Twitter especially, they were tweeting that if we're gonna make knife takedowns unrevivable, that we should also make headshots unrevivable. And the reason that we're stating is, if you get shot in the head in real life, you're not gonna get revived. Your head is destroyed. When in reality, in real life, you can't get revived with a pair of paddles. You can't.
No.
Right.
So the real tactical element to doing something like this would be to encourage a certain type of gameplay. Like for knives, to encourage you to use your knife because your enemy is not going to be able to get revived. Now, why would you try? What are you trying to encourage when you set it so that headshots are a definite kill? Because like Cryptic was saying, sometimes you get a headshot out of pure luck. Now what I think is one or two things. Either you do allow revives after a headshot, or you don't allow it only if the headshot did 100% damage.
I would agree to that. I think, and to answer the first part of that, I think that the gameplay that I would be encouraging with such a move would be, marksmanship and accuracy. Knowing that going for that headshot, aiming up instead of just kind of spraying around, or even, just aiming mid-body because it's the largest portion. It's going for that upper level shot and trying to hit the head, knowing that that's a guaranteed kill, that he can't be revived. Exactly. I think that would be the incentive, and that would drive me to try to get more accuracy in my shots.
I would agree to that. 100%, except sometimes you get a headshot and you get a kill with that headshot because that enemy already had damage to him. That enemy already had like 80% damage. So maybe your headshot only did 25% out of like maybe a pistol or something. That shouldn't be rewarded in that way because that was a lucky headshot. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I was saying, I think it should only be no revive if the headshot did, for example, 60% or more of the damage to get the kill. Then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the bolt action sniper rifles is in one hit kill. 44 Magnum to the head is also, I don't know if it's by range as well, but the 44 Magnum is a one hit headshot kill.
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough to, I'm not like a Magnum specialist, but I have over 600 kills, I think, with the 44, and I can tell you, nothing sweeter around the corner and popping a dude in the mouth with the fucking thing.
Yeah.
But like I said, I've been lucky. I'm not the most accurate shooter. My accuracy is nothing to fucking brag about. But that's the thing. I've been lucky enough to get headshot kills. But that's the thing. If that's 100%, then I kind of agree with it. But then if you want to talk realism, you get hit with a 40 millimeter tank shell, you're not getting revived either.
Yeah, and that's actually it's perfect that you said that because that flows beautifully. I was just about to say, even with me agreeing with the headshot no revive, the devil's advocate version, is the flip side that anything that you're doing in game, you wouldn't be able to get revived from getting killed by.
No,
literally anything that you get killed by wouldn't, you wouldn't be brought back by a pair of paddles. So. To say that it's more realistic is true. However, I think that for the most part, it's an all or nothing affair. So while I do strongly agree that headshots should mean no revives, I am also kind of glad that that's, at least so far, not confirmed.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
I'm gonna be the odd man out here. I don't like it. I don't like it a bit.
No.
Now I'm imagining a scene like Metro or Bazaar, and their guy with his LMG rolls around the corner, knocks down two guys, happens to take them out with the stray bullet headshot from the hip fire, and let's say one of you guys rolls in behind him, gets the knife on him, or whatever the case may be. Now you can't res your buddies, and it wasn't. You know what I mean? It's just from the victim standpoint, it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, it basically right.
Yeah, I can
Especially
see
with
that.
yeah, I mean, I mean, hey, I'm not for the 100% either. I'm just throwing it out there. Is if they were going to do it, then it's got to be the one hit kill, 100% damage, head only,
Yeah.
type of deal. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, how
or
many
hey,
times?
maybe make it ADS only. That pretty much eliminates that problem.
There you
Pretty
go.
much, not fully,
No,
but it
Well,
it
true.
goes
if
a
you
long
get a
way.
one hit kill, if you're not aiming down sights, if you're firing from the hip, you deserve that, man. If you get a one hit kill headshot from your hip, that the guy should not be revived, man.
I have with a Magnum.
I
Oh
was gonna
yeah.
say,
Yeah.
you and my Spaz
Yeah.
12 have obviously not met very often.
Yeah, that's
Close
right.
quarters, huh?
That's right.
Spaz with slugs, man, is
Yeah.
yeah. I've been lucky enough. Mostly, yeah, with slugs or buck. It's a one hit if you hit them, but I mean, the slugs are tougher because of the fact that it doesn't have a proper reticle. But it's random in that circle. But yeah, I mean, I've been lucky enough to do one hit kills from hip fire. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but I mean, if you're gonna reward for skill, you can't reward for luck either, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So interesting discussion on that.
Controversy on the Bottlefield.
Hey, well,
Yeah.
that's good though. I mean, that's why we're here. That's good. Okay, so let's move on to the final point here. We're at the 1 hour mark right now, so this will be a perfect thing to give us a final note here. What is your guys' first goal that you want to accomplish in Battlefield 4? Killer, I want you to take us off first because I feel like you've talked just about the least of us. So you lead it off.
My first goal on day one, honestly, it's
You know
gonna
what?
be.
Hang on. Let me stop you there. Let me interrupt. Not necessarily day one. Just what's the first thing, like, well, let's say the first big thing that you want to accomplish.
Well, the first big thing is to on day one. Yeah, my goal is the following. On day one, I want to play all the maps and all the game modes by myself.
Okay, so take the day off work for sure.
Yeah, I'm taking a week off of work. Yeah,
That's the way to do it.
I'm not laughing. I'm serious.
No, I am as well. Actually,
I'm
I have to
saving
put
my
in my
vacation
vacation
for
for the release of PS4.
I booked the day off for Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, I did too. Totally worth it. So yeah, that's my goal for day one. Basically, just check out all the maps.
Okay.
Get all the vehicles and just explore the maps real good by myself or like with a couple guys. No serious gameplay on day one. And that's just basically my first goal, man.
Nice.
You don't have a long-term first goal then.
Oh well, long term is kill all of you a lot. That's it.
You're a fucking team killer or what?
Yeah, man.
No emails here.
Right. All right, so
Shit.
that's admirable though. I mean, I can respect that for sure. Getting used to the maps and playing all that it has to offer. That's a good first goal. Work. What about you?
Well, first and foremost, I want to knife spiral out
Yes.
immediately, like right away.
You and everybody else.
Yeah. I also want to. I think I'm gonna pick a weapon and I'm gonna unlock all the attachments for it straight away. I'm not gonna use anything else because I wanna play with the attachments and see what they do, how they change the behavior of the weapon. Because how they affect one weapon is kind of how they're gonna affect all of the weapons, and it'll be really good to know going into a different class or different weapons what they're gonna do. And same thing with the vehicles. I want to unlock the attachments and see. I want to see what we're working with.
Nice. It's very very specific. That's good. It's about the opposite of Killer's approach.
Yeah.
Okay. And Cryptic, what about you?
100 service stars with the M16A3.
Oh Jesus.
That's a day
Freaking
one.
noob
That's a
try
day
Yeah,
one.
day one. Day one.
Fuck, no way. I have 7 service stars with the M16 right now. I mean,
That's so sad.
More than me. More than me.
you look at my stats. I have 30. I'll say 35, maybe 36 weapons with 500 kills or more. I have 2 guns with 1,000 kills, maybe 3. Sorry, 3 guns with over 1,000 kills, and that's only in the 1,000 to 1,200 mark. I don't have one gun I whore all the time. I've whored the M16 or the AK whenever the other team, that's all they're whoring. I'm not one of those players. I gripe when I see the kill feed and see the guys got 100 M16s and 100 service stars and the meta class. It's like, get a life, dude. Play something else.
Yes, you do.
Hey, I even pick on one of our buddies, Scotty. Man, I pick on him all the time.
Oh man, him and that fucking G36.
And now it's an all-class weapon. So fucking Christ, he'll have 12 million service stars in the first week. Yep. But my goals in Battlefield 4 is kind of like Works. It's and I mean, it's a bit of killers too. I mean, I want to try out the new game modes. I'm stoked for the new game modes. I'm stoked for Levolution. I want to see the skyscraper collapse on my face. I want to be underneath it when it falls on me. I want to see that ship roll in and crush that building. I mean, I want to experience Battlefield 4 big time. I mean,
I just pictured in my mind your character, your soldier, kneeling down, open arms, welcoming the skyscraper to his face. Come to daddy.
The tower worship from Caspian Border.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, you guys know that I take the game not maybe as serious as some people. I don't have the skill a lot of people do. I take the game serious. I'm trying to go into Battlefield 4 with I don't give 2 fucks about my stats. I don't care if I go fucking 2-12. I want to have fun. C4 suicides, the whole fucking shoot match. It's going to be balls out, have fun, blow shit up, and that's my goal in Battlefield 4.
Nice. All right. So just chaos.
Pretty much.
Awesome.
Experience everything and blow shit up.
How about you, Gladys? What's your goal?
For me, I think that the one major difference between Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 for me, and one thing that I'm going to try to focus on, and what my first major goal is to go into a game as commander and successfully orchestrate with my team and come out with a victory.
Nice.
That's my first major goal.
Nice.
Yeah, that's on the top of my list, man. Just to get good at commander mode, man. That's so exciting.
Because, getting a taste of it in playing MAG, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that at all. I seem to reference this a lot, but I was really impressed by the ideas behind it. Not necessarily, what happened with the game, but the ideas behind it were solid, as far as teamwork was concerned. So you had an overall commander of 128 people. It was 128 v 128. Having all these people, under your control to where you can direct the platoon leaders and squad leaders and all that stuff and set objectives for all of them. And you had certain elements that you could control as well, like certain bomb drops and gas drops and all this stuff. You had so many things that you could do only as that commander position. And, in Battlefield 4, they're putting such an emphasis on it. They're bringing it back, from the older Battlefield series. So that's going to be, I think, the absolute number one biggest change from Battlefield 3 to Battlefield 4 is the introduction of the commander mode, or reintroduction, rather. And for me, it's all about teamwork. It's all about gameplay. So if I can get on there and successfully orchestrate a victory, that's going to be really satisfying.
One thing I'm looking at, I mean, I Battlefield 2142, if anyone played that back in the old heyday on PC, I did. That's kind of one of the first, Battlefield experiences, and they had a commander mode. It was nothing like this is going to be. But my thing is, like, when you speak of that, just to picture basically almost a full team of, a lot of us know that, a lot of people know that a bunch of us are all come from Reddit. A lot of us are, or if not all of us, I guess, in the group are from the VoIP subreddit pretty much.
Yep.
So, imagine getting a group of us together on one side versus either another clan or even a team of randoms. Because, even teams of randoms can kick your ass. And, that's going to be impressive to be there the commander and actually have a team that will work with you, not against you.
Yep.
And orchestrate a demolishing of the team. That will be fun.
That's
gonna
going
be
to be a
epic.
great feeling.
I look forward to it, and I mean, yeah, that's an awesome point.
Yeah,
Definitely an awesome point.
Baker is very prepared for this game because we will be making blueberry pie out of the enemy team, mashing them up,
It's
shoving
gonna
them into a pie crust.
fucking Smurf guts everywhere.
Right, Smurf apocalypse.
Apocalypse, that's beautiful.
Blueberry pie and Smurf apocalypse. Those are the fucking 2 key points of this fucking podcast tonight.
If you take nothing else away from this.
Blueberry pie and Smurf apocalypse. Those have been copyrighted.
Yeah,
Right.
we're going to be making blueberry wine from smashing all of them.
Oh Jesus.
Right.
It's beautiful. All right, so that's going to wrap it up here. We're, I think, at the hour and 10-minute mark, so pretty much on track for where we were last time. I think we're going to try to be about an hour each time. So everybody, thank you for listening. This is episode 2 of Bottlefield, brought to you by ProBattlefield.com. You can follow us at ProBFGaming on Twitter. Finally got that address right.
Got it right.
Yeah. I had the tab up on my computer too, so I wouldn't mess it up. So yeah, make sure you guys visit the website, ProBattlefield.com. Thank you very much for listening. And for all of us here from ProBattlefield.com, have a good night. See ya.
Later.
Later.
Yeah.